they decay with silence. My lord, the king, the enemy surrounds us. Clay pressed with trembling hands, but no army came, no response. A city called Amarna, while Egypt's empire was unraveling. Before collapse, there was dominance. Gold flowed from Nubia. Diplomatic marriages tied kingdoms together. My son, my God, its power wasn't just military. To challenge Egypt was unthinkable. Akhenaten did something no pharaoh had ever dared. No more Amun, no more priestly dominance. The Aten and the visible sun disk. Priests stripped of power. Religious transformation. Amarna. Thin walls? It was a city built for ideology, not permanence. The world beyond its borders was shifting. They were eventually identified as the Amarna Letters. Written not in Egyptian hieroglyphs, these weren't religious texts. A ruler from Byblos wrote, "All my cities are lost. If the king does not send archers this year, all lands will be taken." The Habaru, seizing cities. The letter suggests something chilling. And the pleas were archived in the capital, not acted upon, or was Egypt strategically retreating? Perhaps Egypt was overextended. But previous pharaohs responded decisively. Under Akhenaten, correspondence slows. The Near Eastern power vacuum allowed rival Egypt's dominance eroded not in one dramatic battle. Empires rarely collapse with explosions. They wrote in fear, "My cities are lost. Send archers." Foreign rulers, vassals of Egypt, begging their imperial master for help. No reinforcements. These messages were buried in the sands of a city that should never have existed, and they reveal something extraordinary. Its pharaoh was focused on the sky. Under Amenhotep III, Egypt was the superpower of the late Bronze Age. Trade crossed the Mediterranean. Foreign rulers addressed Egypt's king as "my lord." Egypt maintained a vast network of client states in Canaan and Syria. It was psychological. Then the throne passed to a young ruler, and the empire shifted, internally and externally. He rejected the traditional pantheon. No more hidden sanctuaries. He declared a singular divine focus. Temples were shut down. State resources redirected to one overwhelming mission. Then he built a new capital in the desert, constructed rapidly. Temporary structures. While this revolution consumed Egypt's attention, in 1887, local villagers discovered clay tablets at Amarna, hundreds of diplomatic correspondences. But in Akkadian, the international language of diplomacy, they were political crisis reports. "Why have you neglected your servant?" another pleaded. Repeatedly, they mention a destabilizing force, raiding, undermining Egyptian control. Egypt's vassal network was collapsing. Stored. Was Akhenaten truly ignoring them? Some scholars argue perhaps economic strain limited military intervention. Under Amenhotep III, diplomacy was active and consistent. Military expeditions become rare. States, like the Hittites, to expand influence, but through gradual neglect. Archaeology tells another story. Excavations at Amarna reveal workers buried young signs of malnutrition. Hastily constructed housing urban planning focused around the royal cult. This was not a flourishing golden capital. It was intense, ideological, temporary. Akhenaten's attention was fixed on ritual devotion, daily offerings to the Aten, public ceremonies beneath the sun. Meanwhile, clay tablets accumulated. After Akhenaten's death, everything unraveled quickly. His successor, likely the young Tutankhamun, restored traditional religion. The capital moved back. Temples reopened. Akhenaten's name was removed from monuments. Future kings attempted to erase him from history. Amarna was abandoned, and Egypt never fully regained its former dominance in the Levant. The empire stabilized, but it never again reached the same psychological supremacy. So what truly caused the weakening of Egypt's empire? Religious obsession, political miscalculation, economic strain, or inevitable geopolitical change? The Amarna Letters don't scream betrayal. They whisper desperation. And in that silence between plea and response, an empire shifted. Would Egypt have survived stronger if Akhenaten had answered? Or was the age of absolute Egyptian dominance already ending? History doesn't fall in a single moment. Sometimes it fades in the space between a letter sent and a reply never written. If you want more deep dives into the forgotten turning points of ancient empires, subscribe and tell us below. Was Akhenaten a visionary reformer, or the ruler who let silence reshape history?